Welcome, my name is Balaji and we have on the left side the brand new iPhone 7, which is in this case rose gold, but obviously there's other colors available, but it's not easier to differentiate between the comparison here with the old iPhone 6s, which has the exact same design, but as you can see already when we look at the back, there's a quite few differences when it comes, for example, to the antennas. So we have less antenna stripes here on the back, which might be strange for some people design-wise, but I think it's a nice addition to the big metal back cover that still looks beautiful. And also we have a new font for the iPhone. A text on the bottom, you can see that right here that the new is a little bit bolder and more Windows stylish, I would say. But yeah, that's again something that you have to get used to also in iOS 10, which has obviously also brand new design language. So you can see on the top also the camera, obviously one of the big differences in the new iPhone with a camera that not sticks out a little bit more, but actually is bigger thanks to the optical image stabilizer. Now that's not only in the plus inside, you can see that in the background, but also in the regular size one. Before we only had in the plus iPhone 6s the optical image stabilization. Also both 12 megapixel, but now we have a better aperture with f1.8 instead of f2.2 on the old one. And if you go really close, you will also see that here there were two LED flashes with different color settings, and now we have four LED flashes with different color settings on the new iPhone 7, so in low light there will be even better pictures. The Apple logo is still, as you can see, glamorous and will easily scratch, so definitely watch out for this when you don't use a case. Otherwise, if you look at the device from the side, for example, from the right side where we have the SIM card slot, it looks exactly the same as the old one, except for a little bit, if you go again closer here with the on and off switch, there is a little bit of a difference, but especially when you just look at the antenna, it looks exactly the same. For the top, it goes the same way, but actually even on the right side, you can see here with the volume rockers that there is no glance anymore on the new one, which is also quite interesting that they have changed that. But the most trouble theme actually for the new iPhone is, for some people at least, that we don't have a headphone jack anymore. Now they have a cable inside the box that you can use the lightning connector as a headphone jack also if you want to do that for free, so that's no problem at all for me, because I usually do use a Bluetooth headset with over 20 hours of battery life, so that definitely usually lasts for me. But we still have also microphone built in here and now stereo speakers, which means it should also have better sound, which I will definitely also check out later in my full review. Now we won't do a comparison of sound because I don't think that's that important of a theme, especially with one sound being on one stereo sound being on one side. On both sides it would be way more interesting, like on the iPads. So now you've seen the differences from the back. From the front there will be a little bit not more, but there is actually hardware-wise more, because we have on both here a front camera with different resolution, 5 megapixel on the old one and 7 megapixel on the new one, with the both same aperture of 2.2, and both have a home button, but actually on the right side we don't have a real button. It's just something that you press, and you feel like you pressed actually a real button, but you just feel a vibration coming back, which you can set, and that's actually even a better of a feeling now that I've used it for a few hours than the real button, because the real button can break after a while, and the fake button, you could say that here on the new iPhone 7, is just better for the waterproofness of the phone. Yes, you heard right, Apple finally made the phone waterproof, so the new iPhone 7 here on my left side is actually IP67 certified, so you can take it underwater for half an hour for 1 meter deep. That's about 3 feet, and I will definitely do that and also shoot some 4K footage underwater with the front and back camera. So what I will do here is definitely show you guys the camera. That on the back we have, as I mentioned, 12 megapixels, and now on both actually the same display size and resolution, but white garment technology on the left side, so the colors are even better. You can see that even both have the same camera, but obviously different aperture. On the right side it's a little bit lighter and looks a little bit like the real color here for me, for my real eyes, than on the left side, but you can obviously change that with filters. So I would say that the right camera is better when it comes to the colors, but in terms of optical image stabilization, obviously if I both move the same way, you can see on the left side there's less movement going on thanks to the stabilization. And also, as I mentioned, both have different cameras on the front. So if you just check out the picture mode here in a regular 5 megapixel on the right side and 7 on the left side, the sharpness is a little bit better on the left side, and also it handles the white balance coming from the back also better, so the processing power of the new device with the A10 processor by Apple is also obviously better than on the right side with the A9. Graphics wise, it could be the same because we have still in both 6 cores, but when we go to video, also you can see on the left side there's a little bit more wide angle going on for video, even though both record full HD. Actually, if you go to the back, I'm not sure if I've showed you video because both shoot still 4K, but now, as I mentioned, also stabilization for video on the left side. Otherwise, I won't tell you too much more about the new phone, except for obviously we have a bigger battery, 1960 milliamps, and that with the same design, same thickness, and everything the same inside on the new iPhone. But obviously we have different gigabytes of settings, so 32, 128, 256. But you know all that in my check that out in my full review when it comes out soon in the next few days, when I have used it for a week, the new iPhone 7, which I've seen here in a comparison video with the iPhone 6.